Welcome, my fellow hunters, Yharnamites, or whatever you would call yourself in this game, to another series of my walkthrough. Just some heads up, for this walkthrough you will not get the 100% achievement rate because my focus is only on the base game, including the DLC. But however, if you were to follow my guide, you will definitely get the most out of the base game. Examples such as items, gears, and base game related achievements. But if you want to have a 100% game completion, you might have to turn to other walkthroughs. And for this walkthrough, I will not discuss about the game plot, but solely focusing on the gameplay. If you want to know more about the lore, my walkthrough won't be your thing. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get started.
Oh, yeah. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
Okay, character customization page. For the names, we're gonna just use, let me think about it. Video 4. Yeah, because this is the first time that I'm recording this, and gender-wise, it's gonna be female, and origin is gonna be military veteran because I'm gonna do a hybrid build, and I've already have a character customized, so we will just load that. Okay, let's get started.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
You found yourself a hunter.
Okay, now that we are in game proper, first thing first, let's get to that table there, and there is a message on the chair. Take a look at that and open the door. Okay, right off the bat, I'm gonna get you familiarized with the control of this game. First off, R1 is light attack, and R2 is apparently heavy attack. And if you hold on to your R2, it's gonna be a charge attack. And then your L1 is gonna be your transforming attack or your transformation weapon. But now, since we don't have a weapon, it's gonna be just, you know, two-hand weapon. And then L2 is gonna be your normal firearm attack. And just ahead of us is a Scourge Beast. Since we don't have a weapon currently, the only way to deal with him is just try to get behind him and do a charge attack, so that we can stagger him and do a visceral attack on him. Once the enemy is staggered, we can execute a visceral attack on them, and visceral attack is gonna deal tons of damage on them, so try to do that as much as possible, you know, especially with regards to this kind of large-sized enemy. Quicksilver bullets, and then open the door. Around the corner there's gonna be 4 blood vials, I remember. Central Yharnam. Since right now we don't have weapons on our hands, we are gonna just, you know, activate the lever and then climb up the ladder. And this is a lamp which is equivalent of bonfire in Dark Souls series. And through a lamp we can get back to the Hunter Stream, which is basically like a Firelink shrine. Okay, now we have to get through the cutscene. Okay, so now we are in Hunter Stream. We can get our weapons from these little messengers. For newcomers, I would recommend you getting the Beast Cleaver, which can be used actually throughout the entire game. But basically for each weapon, they can actually all be used towards the end of the game. It's just depending on your preference. But for my walkthrough, I will switch to another weapon halfway through. We'll get to that. And our firearm wise is gonna be pistol, which is fast and prompt. Let's talk to Yharnam first.
Aha. You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the Hunter's Dream. This will be your home for now. I am Yharnam, friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it. This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the dog, should it please you.
This is the place where we upgrade our weapons and firearms and repair our weapons. This is a rune workshop, which is basically like a talisman in Elden Ring. Yeah, which you will find the rune workshop tool later in the game, and then you can equip the runes that you find along the way. And over here is an inside shop. You basically purchase your items with inside, and inside is another mechanic we will introduce later. This is your storage, where you store your items. Okay, down here is the it's just a shop where you can purchase your things using your blood echoes. Blood echoes is the equivalent of your souls in Dark Souls series. Okay, down here we can see this door is abandoned. The reason why it's abandoned is because our inside, you notice on the top right hand corner there are two stats over there. The top one is blood echoes, and the bottom one is called insights. So there is such a mechanic in Bloodborne where once you consume more madman's knowledge, which you will get later in the game, you are able to see more of the game. For example, now the door appears to us as abandoned, but it will revive once our insights gets above 0. It will also reveal various other things later in the game as our insights build up. Just you watching the later game. Okay, so weapon. So in Bloodborne, weapons usually have a transformation form, which means they always have 2 movesets to them, and depending on the context, one moveset might be more effective in dealing with certain types of enemies, and during transformation, each weapon usually has a unique transforming attack, and for our current weapon, Beast Cleaver, its transforming attack is one of the strongest AoE attack in the game. Not only does it increase range, but it also deals tons of damage and staggers most types of enemies. The way how you do it is just basically spamming your R1 at your enemies, and also in the middle of the animation you press L1, which transforms the weapon and land the transforming attack on the enemy. That's what I did there. But some weapons transforming attack are extremely effective in dealing with multiple enemies and stagger them, while as some not so much. Okay, we are now in Yusefka's clinic, is where we come from, and behind us the door is closed and we can see an NPC standing right here talking to us.
Then I'm very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Yusefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry. Please. This is all that I can do.
So we will receive a
Now,
Yusefka's
go.
blood vial from her.
And good hunting. Are you still in need of something? But I have nothing more to offer. Please, try to understand my position. I can only pray for a fruitful hunt. Are you still in need of something?
Okay, after done talking to her, she's basically like a source of our early game special blood. Once we consume the Yusefka's blood vial, we can get back here and get her to give us one more. So it's basically like a loop. And over here we'll kill some little goons. Okay, you notice that in our health bar there is a pale red once we are hit by an enemy, and once we are able to hit them back, you will notice that this strip of health bar will recover, and this is basically a mechanic called rallying. So basically in Bloodborne, the game is encouraging you to be aggressive, and it will reward you for being that. And down here there's another NPC called Gilbert.
You must be a hunter, and not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider. You must have had a fine time of it. Yharnam has a special way of treating guests. Well, I don't think I could stand if I wanted to, but I'm willing to help if there's anything that can be done. This town is cursed. Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit. Whatever can be gained from this place, it will do more harm than good. Pale blood, you say? But if it's blood you're interested in, you should try the Healing Church. The church controls all knowledge on blood ministration and all varieties of blood. Across the valley to the east of Yharnam lies the town of the Healing Church, known as the Cathedral Ward, and deep within Cathedral Ward is the old Grand Cathedral, the birthplace of the Healing Church's special blood, or so they say. Yharnamites don't share much with outsiders. Normally they wouldn't let you near the place, but the hunt is on tonight. This might be your chance.
Okay, so this guy basically provide us with early game, direction about where we are about to head to and what's our next target. And just behind the crates, be careful of the ambush. Over here there are two ways. You can drop down here or go that direction. Just treat that fire as a landmark. We will see that later. Okay, down here there are two enemies, one pretending to be resting down here, another one wielding a plank shield, which basically offers nothing of a protection. And down here there are a group of enemies. Try to deal them one at a time and use your transforming attack more often, which can be great, dealing with multiple enemies. That was a very poor execution there. Pardon me, please. Okay. Now let's swing back to this gate and turn on the lever. This will get us back to where we come from. And down here, this big chump, the way how to deal with him is only through gun parry. That's the only way I know. So basically, the way how gun parry works is just most of humanoid enemies can be gun parried, which means you shoot at them the moment they are about to strike the next attack. And once you successfully parry the enemy, you will hear a clear sound clicking in the background. Then you can do a visceral attack on the enemy, which will deal tons of damage towards the enemy. And this is where we come from. That is a shortcut that we just opened. Okay, keep forging ahead. There's gonna be a couple of NPCs behind the door, and let's go here first. This is where we see above there.
Are you that outsider? Well, sorry, but I don't want anything to do with you. Trot along, will ya?
Those NPCs basically provide us with nothing but just, a general background information about the world in Bloodborne. And they are extremely xenophobic and not really that hospitable. Just equip all the items first, which will come in handy later. Oops, that was a bit, uncalled for. Okay, just around the corner there's another one pretending to be sleeping down here, but he's just trying to ambush you. And over here, another one as well, just right. Okay, I was trying to showcase gun parry there, but that was a botched attempt. And over here there's another ambush. I didn't realize back there, but it was pretty silly that I didn't realize. Okay, down here you can see just beside us there's a group of enemies around the fire, and they will come one at a time. which will be our chance to deal with one at a time. You can see the transforming attack is extremely powerful. The damage just shoots up once you transform the attack. But this is not the case for every weapon, it's just the Beast Cleaver is an exception. The Beast Cleaver is one of the few weapons that deals tons of damage when transforming, so that is a successful parry. You can see the visceral attack after the parrying is just insane. And try to deal with them one at a time. Use pebble and attract them attention. And we accidentally attract the attention of another guy up there. Usually you want to take out the enemy with longer range weapon first. Just trying to go about this place so that we can deal with all those people one at a time. Okay, there are still several little goons left here. Pretty annoying, you can see right there, when dealing with multitude of enemies. And especially when there is a person wielding the gun behind and shooting at you. Just behind the door, there is a big guy there, but rest your heart, the door will not break open. But we will meet him in a bit. And over that edge, there's an item there. We will get that later in this episode. Okay, right around corner, there's another shining items, which is a blood vial. Okay. For here, there's another NPC to talk to.
I don't reckon you're from round here. Well,
Pretty sick. Or the Yharnamites just won't let you in. It's actually pretty interesting if the game really allows you to, go inside someone's home to have a look. And this is the guy that I was talking about behind the door, trying to break the door open. Failed. I was trying to do a gun parry here, but failed multiple times. That was awkward. But don't panic. And for some reason, I don't know why I didn't get the visceral attack right there. Okay, he's down. Large-sized enemies like him will usually get you a lot of blood vials. Once your blood vials exceed your current holding, which is a maximum 20 blood vials at the moment, the rest will go into your storage automatically. And once you go back to your hunter stream, your lost blood vials will automatically replenished through the amount which you have in your storage. Over here is another shortcut, and there's an NPC right there. We'll get to here later in the episode. There's another items just behind those scaffolding gates. Okay, over here. Cold Blood Dew, which is souls in Dark Souls. Okay, a few dogs here. This is Just kill them one at a time, and there's a group of enemies coming at us. So better get them off quickly, those two dogs. Quicksilver bullet. Usually those enemies who are using guns, when they are dead, they will most likely drop, almost certainly drop bullets. So it's not quite difficult to farm bullets. Okay, over here there's items down here. The right. And there is two scourge beasts just ahead of us. We'll take care of them later. Okay, down here, this is the item where we saw. There's another item hiding behind the crates. And down here, just if you roll through the crates, you will see a hidden pass down here. We'll get back to here later. I mean, in the next episode. Now it's time to take care of these two scourge beasts. They're pretty tough to deal with. The best strategy is just to deal with them one at a time, but my attempt here is quite terrible actually. I accidentally attract two of them, so I almost died here. If I died, I have to record this one more time, which is gonna be disaster. Okay, you guys can just see how I cope with this two at the time. I almost fucking died. And for a moment I literally panicked. Although I keep saying do not panic. They can also be parried, but you just have to, you know, grasp the timing. See, it's quite an ordeal to deal with them at once. So I try to separate them there, but failed. You can see how close I am to the death. I'm just trying to parry him, but keep failing. The timing is a bit difficult to get hold onto. Gun parry is really the most important feature in Bloodborne, so better get used to it early in the game. Master it. Right ahead of us, if we are going straight, there is gonna be a boss, but we won't tackle with him right now. Okay, down here into this room. It's pretty dark here, so let's take out the torch. And there is another one just hiding behind those barrels. Okay, down the stairs. A couple of enemies. And there is a wheelchair guy pretending to be asleep, but actually, you know, just guarding this pungent item. Okay, some background information. There is another door in here, but we can't open yet, but we will be able to open it just in a bit. After killing this enemy, we will get to our first shortcut to the first literal shortcut to our lamp. not going to Hunter stream just yet. If you want, you can go back to Hunter streams anytime, but just be mindful that the enemy will also respawn. But if you want to play safe, that's a strategy. And here there are two of those big guys, so same strategy. Deal with one at a time. I forgot to switch to my firearms here. So that's a failed parry. That's what am I talking about. Fluid. Okay, you see those big guys normally drop blood vials. Sometimes they even drop gems, if I remember correctly. Okay, down here. That was a close call, damn it. If I get killed by that, I will be so fucking depressed. Okay, down here there's another item in here. Called Blood Dew. And just around the corner, that's a door that we see earlier that didn't manage to open. It basically connect us to the lamp. Okay, down here there are a couple of dogs in the cage. Just kill them. And there are a few mad dogs out of the cage. Just be mindful of that. Another dog just around the corner. And for some reason, this dog is barking in front of the door. So that means there's definitely something in here. So that's an NPC. Actually, if you haven't already noticed, you will notice that every NPCs will have a lamp just in front of their doorstep, so that indicates that you can talk to them.
You're obligated to help me, you hear?
These fucking old bags. I'm trying to help her and he's giving me such an attitude. Safe place. We'll get to a safe place later in the game.
Go on, admit it. You think we're all mad, don't you? Well, go and stab it. I know all your tricks. Now what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place. Yeah, I should have been good for nothing.
You always want to, keep talking to the NPCs until the conversation start repeating itself, so that you know that you have exhausted the conversation. Otherwise, you might miss out some important information. And my suggestion to any Souls game is that you don't kill every NPC you see in the way. That is just gonna ruin your gaming experience. Because sometimes NPC might give you important gears. Sometimes they reveal vital information. And if you kill them, it's gonna be quite tough to cope with later in the game. And down here we'll see our first legitimate NPC.
A hunter, are you?
In her physical form.
What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights, here to welcome the new hunter.
This item she's giving us is basically like a... I forgot the word for Dark Souls 1 to 3. It's something bonds, right? But it basically gets you back to your lamp.
Still lingering about. What's wrong?
Yeah, it's Homeward Bourne. I remember. I record. It's Homeward Bourne in Dark Souls 1 to 3.
No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves. What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt. What are you still doing here?
A hunter must hunt. That's a weird accent. That's how you pronounce hunt. Okay, just now if you remember that we have cut off 2 ropes tied to a dead body, and each dead body fall on different platforms. So later, after clearing up all the enemies in this level, you have to decide which platform you're gonna fall upon first. But first, let's just kill all those beasts. They're pretty easy to deal with. Just a set of just exhaust your stamina bar that will do it. Okay, over here is another area. Okay, this beast that is ahead of us is gonna be extremely difficult to cope with. My best strategy here is just to sneak up on his back and do a charge attack and stagger him and do a visceral attack. But I failed here, so I can only do a gun parry. The reason why he is so difficult, you can see right here, that combo is so deadly. It will just keep staggering you. You won't be able to recover until he finishes his combo. But by the time he finishes his combo, you're already dead. So over here there are 2 shining items. We are gonna drop here first. That's the body that we cut off while we are on those planks. And there are big rats in here. They are pretty easy to deal with, so just one at a time. And down here, what those 2 rats are guarding are so-called Madman's Knowledge. It's an item. Once you consume, you can increase your insights. We'll see about that later. I will use that later when I'm about to, return Hunter stream. And I just heard there is a rat dropped from the platform. Okay, let's just leave him there first. Because there are still items that we didn't manage to pick up, because just now we picked one platform to drop. We are gonna go back first and drop onto another platform. But first, let's clear up all the enemies in this new area first. Yeah, this one is the one that I was talking about. Very dangerous. The combo beasts. And for some reason I didn't get the visual attack off him. That's pretty shitty, to be honest. And those 2 annoying fuckers keep shooting at us from afar. They are gonna be so dead. Yeah, you will almost certainly get the bullets from them, so easy farming. Cold Blood Dew and another bullet. You can see that you will automatically get, once your bullets are filled up, you will automatically get to the storage. So it will fill up later once you return to Hunter. Okay, there are a few crows hiding behind the barrel, and there is another one here hiding behind the barrel trying to ambush you. Be careful. Number 2, oil urn, which basically, you know, slather the enemy with oil, and then if you use molotovs, it will deal more damage, I think. Okay, drop down on this beam and take this item. Bloodstone shard, which is the item for, you know, upgrading your weapons. Okay, up the ladder. Now we are gonna drop to another platform where the shining item is. Remember, it's gonna be a soul spear, but it's not that good compared to soul cleaver. A lot of people actually think Soul Cleaver is one of the best weapons in the game, and I certainly agree with that. The moveset is just so fluid, and the damage of its transforming attack is just insane. Really, we can really just use this weapon towards the end of the game, but my plan is just, you know, switch another weapon halfway through, so, you know, you guys can see a more variety of weapons in this game. And up the ladder we can see another NPC, and we'll get a side quest from her. Down here there are 2 crows. Just kill them. Actually, for Bloodborne, the number of weapons is actually quite negligible compared to Dark Souls. But every weapon has 2 movesets to them, so that basically makes 2 weapons for 1 weapon, I guess. Big chunk down here. To me, the Bloodborne's weapon is like quality over quantity. And I like that. Up the ladder we can see this lamp is on, so that means there's an NPC here. It's a little girl.
From the hunt, and she went to find him, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box.
Okay, this music box is gonna be vital in our in a boss fight that we will do later in the game. It's actually just a boss in this area. Okay, so this is the shortcut I was talking about. That's where that big chump was, and up the ladder are those crazy ladies. Okay, let's use that bold hunter's mask that Eileen gives us. We can just use this to transfer us back to the lamp and return to Hunter Stream to level up our character and our weapons. Okay. Let's first use up the Madman's knowledge. Because if we were to return the Hunter's Stream without consuming the Madman's knowledge, our insight is still 0. The door will not be revived. The door is basically like a firekeeper in Dark Souls who helps us to level up our character. So we must have it activated first. And down here we will see that the door is already activated. And those are items for PvP. For PvP, if you want to summon NPCs or hunters from other world, like that's like real players, you will have to consume one insight.
To look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit. Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
Okay, now that we are in the upgrade page, my suggestion is that you pop that blood echoes into your vitality, because that will increase your health bar and allow you, more room to make mistakes.
Did you speak with Gehrman?
Gehrman?
He was a hunter
that old man that we met in
but now
that room.
Only to advise them. He is obscure, unseen in the dreaming world. Still, he stays here, in this dream. Such is his purpose. Ah, the little ones, inhabitants of the dream. They find hunters like yourself.
Yeah, the little ones.
Worship and serve them.
Those are just messengers. They are called messengers, and they are those like skeleton little guys, buffing themselves in that bowl over there. Okay, we can upgrade our weapons now because I think we have got ourself enough blood shard. Our early game damage is primarily coming from our weapon upgrade. Not really like through leveling up our character, because like I said, we will first put all the levels in our vitality first instead of damage. And down here, because our insight has already gotten above 0, so now this shop has already opened for us to buy items with insights. And this place is, basically a shop. That shop, because currently we don't have a lot of badges. Badges is like ash in Dark Souls. Once you give the messengers badges, you actually don't really have to give them. Once you collect the badges from inside the game, the shop will automatically, fashion new stuffs for you. Badges will drop from various, bosses, hunters, or sometimes even you can just pick them up. That's it for this episode.